Now, if you were to read his biography on Wikipedia, you'll learn that Robert Monroe was a radio broadcasting executive that was researching the effects of sound patterns on the brain and sleep learning. Then he started exploring out-of-body states of consciousness and formed his own company, the Monroe Institute. And that's about all you'll learn. Unfortunately, that's not really what he did. He learned so much more than anyone today will accept. In fact, he found out more about the nature of the universe than any modern scientist could tell you.
People will not accept Monroe's assertions because they're made without evidence, and thus can be dismissed without evidence. To say that Monroe can tell you more about the universe than an astrophysicist or a cosmologist is to spit in their face.
So moving on, let's answer the biggest question here. What is the point of meditation? Well, everyone has a different answer to this question. Early research showed that meditation was good for lowering blood pressure, lifting depression, reducing cholesterol, and making physical changes to the brain. These are all incredibly Western views about meditation. There are lots of different types of meditation, but in the traditional Buddhist sense, all of these different forms of meditation all have the same common end result, which was spiritual enlightenment.
If by Western views you mean empirically verifiable, then yes, those are very Western ways of looking at it. If you could demonstrate that meditation did all of these fantastic things under laboratory conditions, then this would be a very different conversation.
Finally, let's talk about binaural beats. Binaural beats were first developed by Robert Monroe at the Monroe Institute in experiments to induce different states of consciousness and out-of-body experiences. They are essentially audio tracks that place a single tone in each ear, slightly different from the other, which actually creates a third tone in your head. One ear goes woo, and the other tone goes woo, and in your head, you hear woo 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 woo. It's pretty cool. What this does, in effect, is actually change your brain frequency, putting you in a different mental state. If you Google it, you can find HemiSync, which stands for Hemisphere Synchronization. This is the Monroe Institute's brand of binaural beats, which is very professional, and they have both guided and free-flow meditations that will help you get into different states. The other brand I want to talk about is iDozer, who are a separate company. They don't focus on guided meditations, but they're more interested in the effects. iDozer has tons of different audio tracks that put you in a range of mental places, from LSD effects to chakra boosting to astral projection. There's a reason they call it digital drugs. I know what you're thinking. Does it work? Absolutely. Does it work if you don't know how to meditate? Not so much. If a regular Joe decided to try it out while listening to these tones without any meditational background, it probably wouldn't work so well. You have to be good at getting into a deep meditational state before you start using these tones.
The entire notion behind binaural beats is that brain waves can influence brain states, which is the complete opposite of how the brain works. Certain brain states are associated with certain brain waves. However, the waves themselves do not influence the brain state. I'll be providing links to studies that demonstrate that binaural beats are ineffective, but of course you retort with saying that you need specialized training to use them effectively. However, no amount of training will change how your brain works. Now, of course, I'm not saying that music doesn't affect you. Of course it does. But so does the power of suggestion. Lastly, if you want to try binaural beats but you don't have the $25 to spend on each CD, I'll be posting some links to a few free ones and a program that lets you create your own binaural beats. That's not how you're supposed to cite a study as a source. You're supposed to give me the year it was performed and a few other tidbits. Lacking this information, I can only assume you're talking about the study performed in the District of Columbia in 1993. Interestingly enough, that's the year that violent crimes peaked. Further, these types of statistics need to be tracked over a period of years, not months. Otherwise, it gives the impression that you're cherry-picking your statistics. I could use the same kind of statistics to show that the cause of the reduction was me making YouTube videos. Well, that's our show. I hope you enjoyed it, and please stay tuned for the next episode. Also, be sure to subscribe, comment, like, and favorite the video. Thanks for watching.